Actor-entrepreneur Mark Wahlberg just dropped $37 million on a fully furnished mansion in Delray Beach, Florida. And the headlines were immediate, from TMZ to Architectural Digest, all focused on the celebrity buyer. But the real story is the house itself. Now, the property has sold 4 times in 5 years, jumping from $17 million in 2020 to $37 million today, a staggering 118% increase. Now, that kind of rise isn't just about luxury finishes. It's about speculation. It's about hype, and a market that treats architecture more like a financial asset than a crafted space. Now, stripped of celebrity and staging and all that, the mansion reads as a catalog of high-end tropes, designed for impact, not architectural meaning necessarily. In this video, we'll go inside and examine what's driving the mega home frenzy in Florida and whether this $37 million statement actually earns its price tag. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to critique Mark and the Funky Bunch, Mark Wahlberg's house in Florida, and see what this is all about. Let's go.
Hey guys, I'm Ray Parisi with CNBC, and we're down in Florida today here to check out an 18,000 square foot mega home known as Palazzo di Lago. Inside, 7 bedrooms, 10 baths, and a total of 34 rooms. Plus a 170,000 gallon mega pool, waterfall, and grotto in the backyard. 3 more things that'll make this tour super interesting. 1, this house has more than doubled in price in just 5 years, and we'll explain why. 2, you're about to meet the broker who's poised to do over $100 million in transactions by selling this one house 4 times. And 3, we're gonna reveal a mega renovation with some of the most dramatic before and afters you've ever seen.
Now, I'm gonna try to refrain from like pulling up every single thing I see, because I have a, being in this space, in this architecture space, I can see, a lot of things that a lot of people can't. So I'll try not to, just, break up the continuity of the video, too often. But if something's really egregious or something that really kind of looks kind of crazy, I'll call it out. Now, what I see immediately here, I just stopped. This is just a quick stop. I just stopped just to kind of give that message. But I can tell you right here, this right here is stupid. I mean, I understand. I mean, it's in Florida. It already has a lot of green spaces and things like that with the trees and the, everything, just the tropical, climate and things like that. But this grass on the ceiling, gosh, this is crazy. This is not something that people design for lasting architectural appeal. This looks really cheap. And I don't know if, I wish I can get into the mind of the people who design these spaces to see what the rationale was behind that. Not only that, this is probably a ridiculous amount of money in cabinetry, millwork. I don't know if I necessarily like how it looks artificial. Maybe it looks like it wasn't designed for this house, but it looks like it was something that maybe like they got maybe off maybe like the pattern of the materials off the shelf, but didn't really think of how it would I guess sit together once you finish the product. And the thing that jumps out to me is the lack of continuity and planning to make sure that the grains were aligned. This looks like when you get laminate in your house. That's what this looks like on the wall. And I'm sure, anybody who knows anything about woodwork knows that this is likely not real wood. It's a wood veneer over MDF, more than likely, just because, MDF stays very straight no matter what the temperature extremes are. And then of course you had the veneer over it. But I wish they would have taken a little bit more time to make sure this lines up right. All right, I'll try not to stop too much. Just one thing, or those 2 things I wanted to call out: the veneer here and the stupid grass here. Let's go.
This is Super Broker Sonata Ajin, who is the listing agent of Palazzo di Lago.
Great to see you, Ray.
Nice
Hi.
to see you too. I love that you have the yellow blazer on and you're actually matching your brake calipers today. Well done, well done. Let's get inside here.
We don't care. She pulls up in the Lamborghini with a matching blazer and the trim pieces on the Lamborghini. We don't care. It sounds like a commercial for her. I don't want her to do that, but hopefully she doesn't disrupt the video too much with her, you know, being able to sell this house and making her whatever accolades she's trying to get. We don't care.
Here and check out Palazzo di Lago. How's your Italian pronunciation? How do you...
Palazzo di Lago.
Very well.
It's good, right?
Wow. This is incredible. This is the first time I'm seeing this dramatic renovation, but it's not the first time I've ever been here. Here's video of when I shot this house for CNBC over 5 years ago, back when Sonata first listed it. After this shoot in 2020, she sold it for $17 million. Since then, she listed and sold it twice more. So this is the fourth time she...
So that means, let's see, sold it once and then twice more. It's three people who didn't like this house ultimately. And I think we're going to get to see why. It looks like it's something that you kind of experience, but you get tired of it really quick. And I can see stuff like, you know, there are a lot of textures and a lot of sheens and things like that that are way too busy for your eye. This living wall is probably cool, but it competes with so many different things. Like the staircases did not need these lights at each step. The flooring is one texture, and then the walls are you know, you have the sheens and things like that. And then like the sconces, it's a lot. Your eyes are competing, or these different things are competing for your view. And I think that's probably what happens. This is a house that people grow tired of very quickly.
She's put this same house up for sale. Today's asking price, $45 million. That price tag represents a 164% increase in just 5 years. This is a totally new house.
It is completely different, right? It was completely reinvented, reimagined, and it has this completely new, very dramatic style.
I don't know. Do we like that? Let's see again.
It is...
That's what it was before. I think this is kind of... This would have been classic if the walls weren't so super white, so super bright white. I think they could have toned it down. Well, let me take that back. Looking at the ceiling here, this is a bright white. Ceilings are really usually bright white. So there's a little variation there, but it looks really, you know, still in contrast to some of the other things, it looks still whiter than I'd like it to be. Or maybe a different shade, maybe something a little bit more, have a yellow tone. It was good to address this area right here. I think this is maybe them breaking this up by adding texture. I don't know if that's real stone or if it's decked in or something like that. I'm not really sure. But this is good for them to have addressed this, because it moves your eye away from so much kind of starkness. And not having white walls doesn't mean it's just stark necessarily. But in the use that how we see it here kind of is, you know, kind of plain. And I think I like how they addressed it here. Again, you know, this stuff, you know, all these textured glass walls, I don't think they needed all these things. It's just way over the top, just right away. But I did like here. Let's see what it looks like again.
Completely different, right? It was completely reinvented.
Okay, good. I haven't seen this video, guys. I hadn't seen this before. This is really authentic, real time me looking at this. So I didn't know that they were changing that. You know, I like this better than what was there before. I don't think they need the sconces here. I think that's kind of doing a little bit too much. Maybe it just could have been like recessed LED strips in between, kind of hidden but giving off the glow. But I do like what they did here before. So that was pretty cool that they made the change that in my mind was thinking would make a good impact. I don't hate this either. I think this is great.
Reimagined, and it has this completely new, very dramatic style.
So we were here shooting over 5 years ago. I remember originally it had almost what looked like a white prom dress chandelier in the front, and it was very minimal.
That's correct. And it certainly is not like that anymore.
The staircase remains the same, but it's completely reframed by vegetation wall.
Yes, so you have now organic feel to that, and you've got a lot of high gloss Guyana wood, which gives that reflectivity and adds like this vertical feel to the space, so you see that you're really in a foyer that's 30 feet in height.
I think that's the thing. Okay, so she said there was some kind of lacquered wood behind them. When I was talking earlier about just the different sheens and textures and things like that, I think if they would have left that kind of like a natural feel, it doesn't need to be shiny. I think it would have gone a whole lot better way so that you can actually see the grain in the wood.
Right.
And this used to be drywall also. It was just
Yes,
white.
this was just
with some sort of glass accents that were hanging down here, and now it is stone.
beautiful.
One thing I hate to hear in a multi-million dollar house is drywall. Now I understand it's very effective and efficient. It comes in, sheets that, that do well in construction in general. But when you're talking about multiple millions of dollars, I don't want to see. I don't want to hear a lot of my walls are drywall. I want them to be plaster. Something that has something, like a really kind of texture and a texture and a kind of more heft visually and just in the use of the right materials. Drywall has no place when you're talking about a house in this space. If you disagree in the comments, please let me know.
Beautiful marble that you can see that has this completely book matched, and it's framed underneath with the Guyana wood.
So you've sold this house 3 times in just 5 years, and for some people it's like why is the house trading that much? Is there something wrong with it?
Absolutely not. This home is absolutely extraordinary. However, people's circumstances change and they have different chapters in their life. So we were privileged to be able to guide this home through different evolution.
People's chapters change in their life, meaning they get tired of things really easily when they buy these things, or they just decided this wasn't a good financial investment. The other thing about that is, I think, I don't know. When I look at this, I look at, people getting tired of things very easily and just wanting to change and put their mark on it.
And different owners and be able to.
Oh, and then the other thing, I forgot about that. Sometimes people just like, I don't know, this isn't me. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. This could be like I don't want to say this, but sometimes some of these things just sounds like, let me just, wash some money. Don't quote me on that. That's just one of those things that sometimes I know people will kind of use, house purchases or real estate purchases to offset tax responsibilities. Let me say that.
Add value to it.
And a lot of value, because now we're talking about 100% appreciation. We can talk a little bit later about why that is happening and give people a sense of the context around the marketplace here. I am curious, the last people that lived here, I heard that they actually moved to another house in the same neighborhood.
They actually moved to Casa Maranello, which is Aldo Stark's signature home.
That is hilarious. Let me tell you why. I have a video on that. Now, it went from this, I haven't seen this house, guys. They went from this crazy looking thing to an even crazier looking thing. So I guess, I don't know, maybe I was wrong about, maybe like tax, spreading out the tax situation or whatever. These people just like over the top ridiculous houses.
And then he bought this home from them and did a whole different look and feel and brought it to what we see today.
You can see some of the developers' signature looks that are similar at the Ferrari house. If you just Google on YouTube Ferrari house CNBC, you'll see there's some relationship between the renovation here and what that house looks like.
Yes, that style and look is very bold, and I feel like this was like Lake Como romance meets South Florida splendor and has like a dash of James Bond vibe.
Interestingly, the vegetation wall is not real. It looks real, and I think that over time, it's gotten better and better at making vegetation walls and things like that look super real.
This looks like none of the things that this lady just described just a few minutes ago.
It's not real.
Anne's meets South Florida splendor and has like a dash of James Bond vibe.
Interestingly, the vegetation.
And then this wall isn't real. Okay. Let's get rid of that. I mean, if you're gonna put something up there like that, you want it to be real. Otherwise, it's ridiculous.
The wall is not real. It looks real, and I think that over time, it's gotten better and better at making vegetation walls and things like that look super real. And the beauty of it is it doesn't require the maintenance that a vegetative wall would require. Maybe the housekeeping people need to just dust it every once in a while, but there's no watering, there's no leaks associated with it. It's a very easy thing. It looks real, right?
Yes, absolutely.
For you? Does it look real? It looks real from there, right?
All right, last time, and I let it go a little longer. So they have it looks like it's from the same developer. They have the James Bond house. Look, check these themes out. The James Bond house, or I can't remember. I think it's the James Bond house. I can't remember. And then the Ferrari house. And then now, I think the theme for this one is the fake house, because we got the drywall, we got the fake wood on the walls, or what looks to be fake, and then we had the drywall, the fake living plant wall. All these things just are not. The sum of all those parts seem to add up to be something that is less and less authentic in presentation than what it appears to be. So let's call this the fake house.
Now what?
Shorter now.
Yeah. I actually prefer being up here because she's like 7 feet tall and I'm like 5 feet tall, so this is like, this is a good. I'm gonna take this step with me for the rest of the interview.
Let's take it.
Sonata, you know what I just noticed? It's like a bunch of little staircases.
Yes.
They have a really interesting relationship to the staircase.
Yes, of course.
She's like Captain Obvious.
It was intentional. Everything.
I'm sure it was intentional. I just noticed it.
I'm glad.
Another room that looks completely different. What is this wood called?
So this is Guiana wood. This is from Brazil. It's high gloss and has a lot of movement. So I feel like it adds, again, that verticality and adds a lot of reflectivity to the space.
Yeah, so you can actually see reflection of the pool and sunlight here.
Yes.
And what it used to be was more matte and not reflective.
That's
so the
correct.
room is effectively way brighter.
That's correct.
And all of the furniture inside is completely different.
Everything is brand new when it comes to furniture. My favorite piece, Ray, is this giant golden agate custom coffee table.
The developer here is also the interior designer and in some cases actually making the furniture.
He is a developer who has everything under one roof, or I call it under one mind, right? So he envisioned things that most people haven't seen before, and he actually creates the concept and then executes on everything.
What this means is he has extra material and he doesn't want to throw it away, so he does other stuff with it and put it in other people's houses.
And we have video of this actually being built and the lighting going into it.
$150,000 slab. It's okay, don't worry about the chandelier. We're just gonna go through, even if they move. If I don't scream, it's okay.
And we'll double back to the dining room now, which has been transformed pretty dramatically as well. Here's Sonata in the dining room before the renovation, and now here she is after.
It's a very moody, very sophisticated feel to the dining room.
Now this is the first best thing I've seen in this house. Just the approach when you go in, the floor is fantastic, and just the space itself. Let's look at it again. Right there, look at that. The inlay, you can see how it kind of zigzags. This is actually pretty cool. This is a lot of work to make it look like this. This is actually pretty cool. I actually like it. It's a small space. It probably looks pretty big just the camera angle, but I like this. This is the first thing that kind of looks kind of sophisticated and not fake.
This is totally climate controlled, I presume.
Yes, so the whole room is climate controlled. I really love this space because you have beautiful materials here. And we can hang out, have a cigar. So they added this gorgeous agate, which is also backlit, all new beautiful chandeliers and lighting, and of course all new bottles of wine.
All right, so now what's the next stop?
Next up is his office, which is worthy of modern day James Bond. So that's called the Grey Wave Marble. It's very dramatic, and it takes 4 big slabs to get it perfectly aligned.
Oh yeah, do you see this? It's matched here, 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 here. And that takes a lot. And when you do this, you end up having a lot of marble that gets cut away so that you can make the perfect matching. He has a really good eye for turning stone into basically artwork in a room.
And the use of marble is so special in this home. He doesn't like drywall, so he likes to use natural materials to adorn the homes.
Yeah, it is funny because you are not going to see, I don't think, any sheetrock or drywall in this house. Everything is either upholstered in something or sheathed in some beautiful stone.
So did we change from earlier in the video when they had the big expanses of drywall? I'm kind of confused because they kind of commented on what I said earlier, that you expect not drywall in a house like this. Meanwhile, I think this was the same developer, the person who built the house that had all the drywall everywhere, and then looks like over time they decided to replace that drywall. What are we talking about here?
So I have a secret room to show you.
Would love a secret room.
I know you do. Please.
Interesting. Ooh, let's go in here. I assume this is like the cigar bar.
Tequila bar. I don't know. You can mix it up.
Is there a system in here that sucks away the smoke of whatever it is that you're smoking?
Yes, indeed. So there's a special filtration system just in this room. So you can make it a cigar room, or you can just make it a hangout room.
Where to next?
Okay, let's go to the heart of the home, which is the kitchen. As you can see, this reinvention was very dramatic.
Whoa.
Right?
I mean, we'll take a quick look at the old version of this space. This is insane.
I know.
Every single thing is different. It's so much better.
It really is. Before you had just like white countertops, and now you have this Arabico Grigio marble from Italy, and it's perfectly coupled with this very organic
Love this.
walnut from Spain. Yes.
And check out this, I mean, the stove in the hood. This is like serious.
This is really for the family, right? So you can entertain here. This is such a beautiful space. And it's obviously designed for someone who likes to cook themselves. But if you want to have your chef on a daily basis, there's a separate space.
And thankfully, the chef's kitchen has also gotten a dramatic renovation that we can show you. I like that this is open to, you call that what, the family room?
Family room or Florida room.
I just noticed that she mentioned something about the Spanish. It's a Thermador range. I wonder why they went with Thermador and then Wolf in the main range. It's not like they're much less expensive. They're both looks like to be the 48 or 60 inch wide appliances. I like what they did here. This is just a before. Well, looks like it's transitioning from before to after, but I like what they did here. I don't like this Spanish walnut. I like the walnut itself, just not the orientation, not how the grains aligned. It just looks it doesn't look attractive in this way. I think they could have did a better job again.
For someone who likes to cook themselves. But if you want to have your chef on a daily basis, there's a separate space.
And thankfully, the chef's kitchen has also gotten a dramatic renovation that we can show you. I like that this is open to, you call that what, the family room?
Family room or Florida room.
Does someone have to mow this?
You don't have to touch it.
The fake vegetation has gotten really good. That's not real either. It's got like fake water in it?
Well, you have to get really beautiful maintenance-free pieces that add organic texture to the space.
And this is a dramatic change. What do you call this area?
So
She called fake plants maintenance free. Jesus.
this is a breakfast area.
Breakfast with a wine glass and 3 dishes. You want your Cheerios? We're serving Cheerios for breakfast.
This whole space is new. It preserved like the structure of the banquette, but it has a whole new elevation to it where you have the white oyster agate backlit as the feature wall, which is so fabulous to me and so glamorous and sophisticated.
And this is another situation where the developer actually creates furniture.
That's correct. This is a space with a license to thrill.
So this might be the most dramatic transformation here because this room was also very white, very basic. It has some like bright red stools here, and now it's gotten the Aldo Stark reinvention.
What I personally love is this really special marble. This is called Calcutta Picasso. You know, it's very rare to be able to backlight marble. Everything that you see here is included in the price of this home. And I feel like when you say staging, it kind of like demotes the value of the furniture. As you can see, everything is custom. Everything is extremely high quality. Like I just love even like the billiards table has mother of pearl insect details.
Yeah.
So there's some really cool pieces in here.
So everything comes with it, including all the tequila at the bar?
All the tequila is included.
For $45 million, you get all the tequila you can drink for a little while. So this is another big transformation. Even the theater got the Stark touch.
Yes, it got the cinematic feel, right? So you have the beautiful marble, you have wood detailing that has acoustic properties.
Some of the stuff you can't see is the audio and visual stuff. Was that upgraded as well?
That was upgraded, and there's a brand new $150,000 projector. I love this office. I like also the earth tones and the palette. Here, this is Macchia Vecchio marble. I think it's so nice.
And I like when an office has a bottle of tequila and a bottle of champagne in it. That's the kind of work I want to do. This is a very glamorous staircase.
I think you should be wearing your tuxedo and actually wear like a ball gown.
I'm underdressed for that staircase. We're walking across now mother of pearl inlaid tile.
This is one of my favorite design pieces ever, and I was so grateful that they preserved it.
Whoa, does this look better than it used to. The bones of the house worked. There's not a wall change or anything. The surfaces of the walls have changed, but they haven't been moved. And a room like this, it's still the same chandelier, but everything as far as interior design and even the wall coverings have changed. And it's just like a whole new place.
The bones and the...
It looks like, I hope she touches on, looks like the floors. I don't know what they looked like before, but the mother of pearl inlay floor looks very good. It looks like this dark floor has some texture to it that we really can't see. I wish they would have made it not stained so dark so that you can see the pattern of the inlay. I hope she talks about it, because it looks like I can see it when they were walking through. Let's see.
Structure of the home are exquisite, but it definitely needed a big facelift and a refresh in a way that's going to transform the whole home.
The one place that did not need a facelift is where we're going next. And those are his and her closets. Her closet is untouched because they nailed it the first time.
Exactly.
Should we go check it out?
Yes.
This is Sonata's happy place.
I would say this is any girl's happy place. This is the OG Chanel boutique inspired closet.
This is extraordinary. Even the dirty laundry thing is pretty glamorous. You gotta love this, Sonata.
You know, that's my favorite piece. I think last time I told you, I'm like, I feel like you made it in life when you have a ladder in your closet.
Yeah.
Do you know you got it made when you have a ladder in your own closet?
We're gonna go see his closet, which is a little anticlimactic after that, but solid for a
No,
closet.
it's solid, absolutely. So his closet, Ray, was inspired by Tom Ford. So he had his Tom Ford, she had her Chanel inspired.
Wow.
The only thing that changed was the marble and the backlighting. You're right.
Because Stark did not want any sheetrock to be seen, so
Hello?
he sheathed it in expensive marble. So it is currently empty. It looks even better when someone really organized and really rich stocks it up with some cool stuff. Can you do the honors of snapping your fingers and revealing?
His closet, which he also calls the Air Jordan room, for obvious reasons.
Who has that many sneakers?
Big collectors. Every trophy home needs a trophy garage.
It's one thing, let me just go back here. One thing I just noticed is that it drives me absolutely crazy when they do this. And I know why. It's usually just a cost saving issue or cost saving decision, rather, let me say that. Is when they have like the small, like if you have a 4-car garage on each side, 3-car garage, one single door and then the double door, and then they mirror it on the other side. I wish they would break them up because it's so much more visually appealing to have 3 separate doors versus the one door and then the double door. It just throws off the symmetry. Maybe people usually don't care about this stuff, but from a practicality perspective, but visually it's just those are the extra details that make a difference between, a good home and a great home.
Every trope.
Right here. This is kind of it looks like it may be more than a 3 or double garage. But anyway, it looks like it needs to be more balanced. Like one here and then 1, 2, 3, or however many that is wide, I can't really tell. Have separate doors. I know it's an additional cost, I guess, to have multiple motors for each door, but it looks so much better when they do it.
Trophy home needs a trophy garage.
It is Ferrari heaven here.
Of course, you have to have a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, Ferrari heaven should have a Rolls Royce here and there. This is some serious staging. What's your favorite car here?
I think my favorite is the 458 Speciale, just because the calipers match my outfit. Obviously, yellow is my favorite color, so here we go. Both garages now have a seat.
Props to Seneda for knowing what a 458 Speciale is. That's pretty cool.
And you can even detail the cars in the garage, because if it's a little too hot outside, you can close both garage doors and detail.
And you pointed at this because you'd be washing it and the water would flow out?
That's correct. So you have water connection here, and this is drainage.
I mean, that is literally thinking of everything. You get to wash the car in the air-conditioned environment. I doubt that the person who buys this place is washing their own car in here, but it's nice to think that
Of course.
maybe they are because they love the cars so much.
They love the cars.
Right across the way, some more prancing horses.
Indeed.
It's vintage like me.
I don't know if you guys caught that, but they said it looks like they built the capability for people to wash their cars inside the garage. I guess I'm looking at the tile on the I don't know if you can actually do that reliably. It looks like there's some stuff on the some paneling on the ceiling that may not play well with moisture, but the walls may be okay with that. I don't know if you actually, let me see that again.
Of course.
Maybe they are because they love the cars so much.
They love the car.
In the air-conditioned environment.
You have water connection here, and this is drainage.
I mean, that is literally thinking of everything. You get to wash the car in the air-conditioned environment. I doubt.
Man, I saw some outlets and things like that on the wall. Maybe she didn't mean it, literally, but maybe light car washing. But the kind of car washing I'm thinking that you need to do, you probably still couldn't do in here, no matter, even if you have the drains right here. But I don't know. It's not my house.
Out that the person who buys this place is washing their own car in here, but it's nice to think that
Of course.
maybe they are because they love the cars so much.
They love the cars.
Right across the way, some more prancing horses.
Indeed.
It's vintage like me.
I love it. So to keep your private collection super safe, you have a security office right here. Even though this is one of the safest communities in the country, we figured that most clients may want to have either property manager or security staff.
Just,
So he has a room off of the garage for someone to manage the car collection. All right, I dig it.
You might need a gun safe off the cars, right?
Of course, you need a television. You
And a
need
shower.
I'm a big car aficionado, so this is really my space, besides the Chanel closet.
I can't imagine that they would have had to change much here. It's still got this sort of Bali Four Seasons vibe.
Yes, it does. I think you'll have to go to the nighttime shots, right, to see what really changed. They added over 2,500 lights. They did all brand new landscaping, new pool equipment, new pool lights, fire pits. It just has a great evening vibe.
So you've sold this house 3 times so far. I want to go over the history of the sales because this is crazy. She's going to sell this house for the 4th time in transactions worth over $100 million if she gets anywhere near today's asking price. So can we rewind to the first sale, which was back when the 3 of us were here touring this house?
Back
It looked
in
like
2020.
it was a very different looking house. The asking price then was,
$20 million,
and it traded for?
17 million, which was 900.
I'm going to stop here. I don't know if they're going to get too much. I don't want to kind of talk about the price, the price history. I wanted to talk more just about the details and the things that make this house what it is. Let's see if they're going to show anything more. Let's see.
Then you sell it a 3rd time.
Yes.
Let's keep going. I can talk about, let's see what they say about the Ferrari house that they bought after this.
They paid $50.5 million for his Ferrari-inspired mansion and everything inside. The deal for Casa Maranello was a combination of cash and real estate broken down like this. $24.5 million in cash, plus they handed over the title to their home, which was valued in the deal at $26.
Oh, I think I remember they didn't talk about this before. I've seen the background of this house and how the kind of like the details around buying Casa Maranello with real estate. I didn't know that this was that same house. Wow, that's interesting. All right, let's listen.
$6 million. Immediately after taking ownership, the developer started a massive renovation.
I do remember that conversation too, because that house wasn't really that nice, and now I get to see it and get to see why it wasn't as nice as it's showing right now. And when I say nice, I think it actually. Let me sum it up. Let's play just a little bit more, see if they show anything more. But I'm going to give like a closing statement to summarize what I think about the house as it sits now.
Sonata listed 9200 Rocky Brook again with a whole new look, a new name, and Palazzo di Lago had a much bigger price tag.
$45 million, which is $2,500 a foot.
164% in.
All right, we'll stop here. Palazzo di Lago actually is pretty cool. Now that I know the history about this house, I'm very familiar because I did just a critique of the Ferrari house. It was pretty, if you want to go take a look at it. It's pretty in depth. It kind of goes through a lot of detail. If you're into detail, it's fine. It's not just like a quick, let me just take a look at the different things that make this house what it is. It's not that. It's kind of more detailed. So it's a little longer. But I do remember that when they sold that house, that it was to there was some detail. There was some details around the property that they traded in order to get that house. And I remember thinking, man, that house is. And I'm referring to Mark Wahlberg's house that we're showing now. I remember them saying that, or showing the house, and it just had it had really no visual interest at all. And so to see that here today, it is much more improved than what it was before. It's really interesting because they talk about the developer didn't want a lot of drywall and all that sort of stuff. It had a bunch of drywall in it before, so it's really interesting that they had that conversation, or they kind of spoke about the wanting, I guess in this period, wanting to improve that. Let me take that back, because I don't know if that developer built the original house. Maybe he was a developer. Maybe that puts a different spin on it. So maybe he wasn't the original developer of the house originally when it was built, but he took his design sensibilities and taste from the Casa Maranello into this house. Maybe he wouldn't have, if whoever built the house before is not the same as the guy who built Casa Maranello. Let me say that. Maybe that makes sense now, because again, my primary critique was that a lot of it felt really artificial with all the drywall, and now it looks like he resolved a lot of that by putting more natural materials. I will say, Mark Wahlberg, your house is much more attractive now than it was before. Some of the details could be executed differently, but I'll say I think I like this one more than Casa Maranello. Let me know what you think in the comments. Until next time, thank you.